Hi, welcome back to another episode of Cashing Out. My name is Adam.
And I'm Tammy.
And today we're going to talk about electronic payments, specifically credit cards versus debit cards. Both are widely available to consumers these days, and both are pretty easy to get. But which one should you be using when you're out and about? There are pros and cons to each of them, and today we're going to go through both. For credit cards, our first pro is that credit cards earn rewards, or at least the majority of them do. It's not hard to find a credit card that can earn you 1%, 1.5%, 2% even back. And
the other pro with credit cards is that they offer enhanced consumer protection. So if a charge is made on your card, for example, I made a charge, or I shouldn't say I made a charge, I tried a free trial of something. I was charged right away before that 30-day free trial period was done. It was charged the minute I signed up for it. I proceeded to cancel that free trial, and then I also filed a dispute with the credit card company. They gave me a conditional credit.
And ultimately, they did get back to you, and they gave you that money back. They concluded that you were correct.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was really super easy, especially our credit card issuer on that one happened to be Chase, but they were very professional throughout that entire process.
And it was done online.
Yeah.
I filed the dispute online. I didn't have to call anybody.
Yeah, they followed up via mail and email. But yeah, nice, easy, quick, and resolved in our favor. So.
Yep, and that's a great benefit with credit cards.
Yeah. Another pro that we like about credit cards is many of them offer one-time use cards. So what that means is, say you're buying something on a maybe less than reputable website.
Wish, for example.
Okay, come right out and say it. Wish, Alibaba, or AliExpress, you name it. There are some websites or some merchants that maybe you don't want to have your actual credit card. There are certain issuers that will allow you to make a one-time use credit card. A couple of the popular ones, Capital One has it through their Eno service. It allows you to make one-time use credit cards at many issuers. Citibank also has it, their virtual credit cards online. The next benefit that we really like on our credit cards that we've actually used as well, some credit cards offer cell phone protection plans, travel insurance, lost baggage insurance. We actually have had experience with a broken cell phone. Someone who should not be, will not be named in this video, got a brand new cell phone a few years ago and dropped it on concrete and shattered the screen.
It was a brand new BlackBerry Priv.
So again, it was a few years ago, but it had a nice curved screen and it got shattered. We went through the claims process with our credit card, and it was actually on the Citi Double Cash card, one of our favorite cashback credit cards from our last video. And at the time, they were offering a free warranty replacement for broken cell phones. So we went through the claims process, which was a little bit of a hassle.
But it also important to note is that you have to purchase it on that credit card.
Yes, you do have to purchase it on that credit card. So we ended up getting a quote on a replacement screen, which Tammy took it to one of our local cell phone shops, and the cost of the screen was actually more than the replacement value of the cell phone itself. So our issuer actually let us buy a new one and reimburse us the full cost of it. It was a great little perk. Again, these perks can come and go, and lately we've been seeing a lot of these fringe benefits disappearing from credit cards, but there are still some that offer it.
The other reason we really like using credit cards is it helps you build credit. So especially if you're a college kid, you know, a lot of these issuers will not issue you a card in your own name until you turn 21. Well, a lot of kids are almost done with college by then, thinking about, you know, purchasing a vehicle with a loan, renting, all of these things check your credit. Credit cards are a great way to build up, to start that credit. The other thing that I like with credit cards is a lot of them have shopping portals. Capital One just started doing it. They have where you get percent back for different shops. The one I use the most is the shop through Chase. You're going on to Chase's website, picking shopping, earn bonus points. Just about everything I buy online, I will go through some shopping portal, through some credit card site to to get more points.
We've used these extra bonus points that we've gotten through shopping with Chase to book some of our trips and travel that we'll talk about in a future video.
The card I use most when I do this online shopping is I use the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. It's a 1.5% base earning card. So I go through the shopping portal through there, and then you get those extra points on top of it. A favorite one I shop through is Cricut. Love buying crafting supplies. A lot of times it's 3 additional points. So now I'm getting 4.5 points per dollar spent on Cricut's website, which adds up fast. Another one, we have 2 dogs. Chewy. I buy a lot of stuff on Chewy. Chewy always has bonus points, which is great because you've got heartworm medication. You've got, oh my gosh, what else do they have? Heartworm, flea and tick for the one that goes to doggy daycare, dog food. But yeah, I mean, you're getting extra bonus points on top of that 1.5%.
However, credit cards aren't perfect, and they certainly have some cons that you need to be aware of. The first one, it is not advisable to get cash out of an ATM or at a bank counter using a credit card. These are considered loans. So if you are short on cash, you're going someplace that takes cash only, or say you're gambling at a casino, which we're going to be doing in our Las Vegas video that'll be coming up in a few months, don't use your credit card to try to get cash. This is considered a loan, and you'll start paying interest on it right away through what they call a cash advance rate. These are high interest loans, and they start accruing immediately the moment that you take money out of an ATM. Don't ever try to get cash using a credit card. You will pay dearly for it.
Yep.
The second thing that you need to be very careful of, if you don't have any self-control, it's very easy to overspend a budget. So credit cards typically give you a credit limit, and you can spend up to that credit limit depending on the issuer. However, if you're not careful budgeting, it's easy to charge things that you don't actually have the money for. If you don't pay off that credit card balance right away, it doesn't matter what rewards you're getting. The interest you're paying to that credit card issuer is going to far outstrip any rewards you're ever going to get off that card. You have to have a lot of self-discipline.
And it's so important that you pay that credit card off every month. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many points you earned online shopping. You're going to lose them by paying that interest. The other downside to credit cards is that some merchants now are charging a surcharge. They're charging you because every time a merchant swipes a credit card, they're paying a transaction fee. This is how it works on our Etsy site. We sell an item. So we have a customer who buys something for whatever, $5 or whatever. We are paying then, Etsy charges us back the percentage, the transaction fee, 2.75% plus 30 cents. That's what a lot of small businesses are doing, but we're also seeing it with businesses we wouldn't have expected. In town here, the car dealership where we take our car for an oil change, they started charging 3%. A 3% upcharge to use a credit card. Many
merchants will just bake in the price of these credit card fees into the items. So if you're shopping at many retailers, you don't even notice that they're baking it in.
No, your big ones don't. You know, Target doesn't charge you a credit card surcharge. Walmart doesn't. No. Grocery stores don't.
But some small businesses are finding it hard to absorb the cost of these credit card fees, and so they pass it on directly to you. So again, be careful. If you're using credit cards for a big ticket item or a big purchase, it might be better to switch to a debit card, which has a lower transaction fee for the merchant, or possibly, dare I even say it, use cash or a check if you're making a big enough purchase.
Next up is debit cards. Pros and cons to those as well. A good pro with that is debit cards make it easy to budget. The money comes directly out of your checking account. ATMs, you can use them at an ATM.
Yeah, some banks will charge ATM fees, so be careful, read the fine print on your checking account. But generally, it's much easier to get access to your cash. It's easy to check your checking account balance on a mobile device or a cell phone these days. You can check it right before you go shopping if you want to. It's easy to see, it's easy to budget. The other thing we really like about debit cards, you don't need a credit history. So let's say you maybe have less than stellar credit history. You've had problems with credit in the past. You can still get a debit card with virtually any checking account these days. Even a lot of prepaid debit cards are out there these days that are affordable. They're not cheap, but they're affordable if you can't get a bank account. So these debit cards make it easy for you to spend money at merchants without carrying a pile of cash around, which obviously are easy to lose.
It's still safer. It's still safer to use a prepaid debit card if that's your option, rather than carrying around cash.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of cons to debit cards. Our big one, especially us, being that we are paying the credit card points game quite a bit, most debit cards do not have rewards. There are a few exceptions, but most debit cards, again, the money comes straight out of the checking. There is no rewards with the spending. Even finding a debit card that gets you a percent is difficult to do. So basically, no rewards on debit cards.
Another con to debit cards is using it when you travel.
Many times, if you stop and you fuel up and you swipe your debit card at the pump, they'll put a hold of $50, $75, $100 that gets held straight out of your checking account and doesn't necessarily get released right away.
No, those funds can take 3 days to be released. So you have to plan for that. Hotel rooms. Hotel rooms are going to put a huge hold on a debit card.
Yeah, many incidentals. If you swipe your debit card at a hotel when you're traveling, oftentimes that hold, again, will come directly out of your checking account balance. So you have to be very, very careful. That takes money out of what you can actually spend at your destination.
Yep. Another con with debit cards is if your card is breached or hacked. Somebody gets your debit card. You purchase something online at a less than reputable site. Well, now suddenly your card is out there on the black web being sold. Now your account is almost empty.
Your checking account, where your rent and your paychecks are going into. That's your money that you're living on.
I had a coworker. All they use are their debit cards. She had her card hacked. She spent the better part of the day on the phone trying to get it cleared up. Not to mention, they have to cancel your debit card, and you have to wait for them to send you a new one. So again, you don't have access to your money while this is going on.
In conclusion, credit versus debit, what's better? You've heard us talk. Obviously, we're big fans of credit cards. We love our rewards. We love the consumer protections. We've used the fringe benefits on these credit cards, the travel insurance and such. But you have to acknowledge, again, you need to be responsible with spending. You need to build up a credit history to get one. Debit cards are much easier to come by these days. They truly are.
They truly are.
Yeah. But either way, we do recommend using an electronic form of payment. Whether it's a credit or a debit card, it's still safer than walking around with a pile of cash.
With a wall full of cash.
Exactly. You don't want someone...
Yeah. Not to mention, hotels won't take cash.
Yeah. It's not easy to walk around with just cash these days. So either way, get a credit card or a debit card. We recommend credit if you can. Debit's a good fallback, and it has certain uses. But if you can use an electronic form of payment, still much, much better over using a pile of cash or a checkbook. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of Cashing Out with Adam and Tammy. We'll be back hopefully soon with our next episode. We'd like to go over some of our future travel plans that we just booked using some of our travel credit cards. We'd like to tell you about how we're doing that. So if you don't mind, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like. We appreciate the feedback and the comments you guys have given us so far.
Until next time.
This is Adam.
I'm Tammy.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.